Tonight, we turn our attention north, to a story of immense national importance for our Canadian allies. It's a high-stakes competition that will define their military capabilities for decades to come. Canada is on a multi-billion-dollar quest to replace its aging fleet of fighter jets. This isn't just about buying new planes, it's about safeguarding one of the largest airspaces on the planet. It's a decision that involves complex politics, immense financial investment, the very security of North America. The search has been long, winding, and filled with dramatic turns, and tonight, another surprising chapter is being written. Their current fighters, the venerable CF-18 Hornets, have served valiantly, but are now operating well beyond their originally intended service life. The world has changed, and the technology of air combat has leaped forward. For Canada to meet its commitments to its own sovereignty, to NORAD, to NATO, a modern, capable fighter is not a luxury. It is an absolute necessity. Eurofighter Typhoon, Dassault, Rafale, Boeing's FA-18 Super Hornet, Lockheed Martin's F-35 Lightning II. Each aircraft brought a unique set of capabilities, costs, and industrial benefits to the table. Over time, the field of competitors began to shrink. Dassault Rafale withdrew, Eurofighter Typhoon withdrew, citing concerns that the requirements were unfairly tailored to favor their American rivals. This left just 3 aircraft in the running. And finally, there was Sweden's contender, the Saab Gripen E, a unique and highly capable jet with a different philosophy. Equipped with an AESA radar giving the pilot unparalleled situational awareness, including makeshift runways on public roads. In late 2019, to the surprise of many industry observers, Saab announced it was withdrawing the Gripen E from the race. The company stated that after reviewing the final bidding requirements, it concluded that the rules placed it at a significant disadvantage. For operating within the North American Aerospace Defense Command, or NORAD, heavily favored the American-made jets, removing a unique option that many felt deserved serious consideration, and that the F-35 had been the pre-selected winner all along. The departure of a major European player was a significant political embarrassment. It seemed for a time that Canada's choice would be limited to 2 American jets. And the story of the Swedish Gripen in Canada was over. But as we've learned, things in this race can change very quickly. Just when the narrative of Canada's fighter jet race seemed set in stone, a dramatic and unexpected development unfolded. In the fall of 2025, with the Canadian government deep in the final evaluation stages, F-35 Super Hornet news broke that Saab was back in the conversation. The Swedish government, in a direct overture to Ottawa, officially resubmitted an unsolicited proposal for 88 Gripen E fighter jets. This wasn't just a corporate sales pitch, it was a formal government-to-government offer, signaling a serious and renewed push to get the Gripen back into contention. The race was suddenly wide open again, so what changed? The key development was a significant policy shift from Saab and the Swedish government. They addressed the primary obstacle that caused their initial withdrawal, the stringent NORAD security requirements. In their new proposal, Saab presented a comprehensive and detailed plan for how the Gripen E could be fully integrated into the sensitive Two Eyes intelligence network shared by the United States and Canada. This plan, backed by the Swedish government, included guarantees of full technological transparency and cooperation to ensure the Gripen could operate seamlessly alongside American military aircraft, effectively neutralizing the main technical argument against it. This new offer came at a critical time. The Canadian government was facing increasing public and political scrutiny over the skyrocketing projected life cycle costs of the F-35. Reports continued to highlight the immense expense of operating and maintaining the stealth fighter over its lifetime. The Gripen, long touted as the most cost-effective option among the top-tier jets, was suddenly looking more attractive than ever before. Saab's new proposal emphasized not only the lower purchase price, but also the dramatically lower operational costs, promising Canada a made-in-Canada solution that would deliver superior capability without breaking the bank. The re-entry of the Gripen has completely shaken up the dynamics of the competition. This is a classic matchup of two very different design philosophies. The F-35 Lightning II is a fifth-generation fighter, and its defining characteristic is stealth. It's designed to be nearly invisible to enemy radar, allowing it to penetrate deep into contested airspace and strike high-value targets. It's honestly a flying supercomputer, packed with an array of sensors that collect and share vast amounts of battlefield data with other friendly forces. The Gripen E, on the other hand, is what is often called a 4.5-generation fighter. It doesn't possess the all-aspect stealth of the F-35. The Gripen focuses on having a very low radar signature from the front, combined with one of the most advanced electronic warfare systems in the world. Its philosophy isn't to be invisible, but to see the enemy first and use its powerful electronic jammers to disrupt and blind enemy radars. It's really a different solution to the same problem, surviving in a modern air combat environment. The F-35 relies on hiding, while the Gripen relies on fighting smart with superior electronic countermeasures. When it comes to cost, the differences are stark. The F-35 is notoriously expensive. Its stealth coatings require specialized climate-controlled hangars and are costly to repair if damaged. The Gripen E was designed from the ground up for affordability. Its cost per flight hour is estimated to be less than half that of the F-35. For a country like Canada, with a vast territory to patrol and a limited defense budget, this is a massive consideration. The savings in operational costs over the 30 to 40-year lifespan of the fleet could amount to tens of billions of dollars. Recent updates have made this comparison even more relevant. While the F-35's capabilities are undeniable, ongoing reports highlight its struggles with engine availability and high sustainment costs. At the same time, Saab's new proposal for the Gripen E includes a complete technology transfer package. This would allow Canadian companies to maintain, upgrade, and even manufacture parts for the jets in Canada, giving the country full sovereign control over its fleet. This stands in contrast to the F-35 program, where maintenance and upgrades are heavily controlled by a global logistics system managed by the United States. The choice for Canada is now clearer than ever: the unparalleled stealth of the F-35 versus the operational independence and affordability of the Gripen. To appreciate the context of this competition, look at the air forces of Sweden and Canada. Both are highly professional modern air arms defending large northern nations. The Swedish Air Force, or Flygvapnet, has a fascinating history rooted in armed neutrality. For decades during the Cold War, Sweden maintained one of the most powerful air forces in Western Europe, designed to single-handedly defend its airspace from a potential Soviet invasion. This doctrine of self-reliance led to domestically designed fighters like Viggen Gripen. An interesting fact about the Swedish Air Force is its pioneering use of highway strips as backup air bases. During the Cold War, Sweden built numerous sections of its national highway system to be straight, wide, and strong enough to serve as emergency runways for its fighter jets. This dispersed basing concept is central to their defense strategy. The Royal Canadian Air Force, on the other hand, has a history deeply intertwined with its key alliances, the British Commonwealth during the World Wars, and later with the United States in NORAD. The RCAF has a proud legacy playing a critical role in the Battle of Britain. For its part, the RCAF has its own unique operational specialty: long-range northern patrols. Canadian pilots are experts in operating over the vast, featureless terrain of the Arctic, often in extreme weather conditions, where navigational aids are scarce. Every year, the RCAF conducts Operation Noble Defender, a major NORAD exercise that practices intercepting potential threats in the far north. This expertise in Arctic operations is precisely why the capabilities of any new fighter in cold weather. And so, Canada finds itself at a critical crossroads. The long and winding road to replacing its fighter fleet has taken another surprising turn, and the final decision is now fraught with new complexities. The re-emergence of the Saab Gripen E as a serious contender has fundamentally altered the landscape of the competition. What once seemed like a straightforward choice between two American jets has now become a much more nuanced debate about cost, capability, national sovereignty. The coming months will be crucial as Canadian officials weigh their options one last time. The immediate next step for the Canadian government is to decide how to handle Sweden's unsolicited but formal offer. They can choose to dismiss it, arguing that it comes too late in the process, which could open them to criticism of running a biased competition. Or, they can conduct a full and proper evaluation of the new Gripen proposal, comparing it directly against the F-35 and the Super Hornet. This would likely delay the final decision but would lend credibility to the government's promise of a fair and open contest. All eyes in Ottawa and in the global defense industry are watching. The final decision will likely come down to a fundamental question of priorities. Is the absolute cutting-edge stealth technology and seamless United States interoperability of the F-35 worth its massive price tag and long-term dependency on a US-managed global supply chain? Or does the Gripen E's offer of lower lifecycle costs, operational flexibility in the Arctic, and full sovereign control over the fleet present a smarter, more pragmatic investment for Canada's future? The Super Hornet remains a viable, lower-risk option, but the debate has largely polarized around the two more distinct philosophies of the Gripen and the F-35. Whatever the outcome, the decision will have a profound and lasting impact. It will shape Canada's ability to defend its sovereignty, meet its alliance commitments, and project its influence on the world stage for the next half-century. It is a multi-billion-dollar investment that will echo through the Canadian economy and its armed forces for generations. The saga of Canada's fighter jet replacement has been a long one, full of twists and turns. And now, with the Gripen shaking up the race at the 11th hour, the final chapter promises to be the most dramatic yet. The world is watching to see which aircraft will rule the skies of the Great White North.